Series 4, conducted by Gyanalok Trust in collaboration with National Association of Professional Social Worker in India (NAPSI), Odisha Professional Social Workers Association (OPSA), and Department of Social Work, Directorate of Distance and Continuing Education, Utkal University, Odisha. Today we have with us an eminent speaker, Professor Sanjai Bhatt, who is well known to all over India, especially in the fraternity of social work. Professor Bhatt is the former professor of Department of Social Work, University of Delhi. After completion of his PhD in social work from Lucknow University, Professor Bhatt was professionally associated with a number of institutions like Lucknow University, World Bank, Kashi Vidyapeeth, Kurukshetra University, Chitrakoot Gramoday University, and the University of Delhi. He has over 4 decades of professional career in the field of teaching and development sector. Professor Bhatt served the prestigious University of Delhi for about 3 decades, of which he worked as a professor for about 20 years. Professor Bhatt published over 20 journal articles and book chapters in reputed journals and books. He has completed more than 20 projects as principal investigator and delivered over 100 talks in different seminars and workshops. As an editor, he is associated with a number of reputed journals, and he is the managing editor of Journal of Social Work Education, published by National Association of Professional Social Workers in India. He is a life member of a number of national and international organizations like NAPSWI, INPSWA, APASWE, SOHAM, and many others. He was the former president of National Association of Professional Social Worker in India and currently heading the campaign for National Council for Social Work in India. Thank you so much, sir, for the plethora of work you have done in your career and continuing your lecture on various social work related issues even after your retirement. Out of his vast knowledge and experience and understanding on social work intervention in school setup in India and abroad, today Professor Bhatt will be delivering on scope of social work as a profession in India for school-based intervention. On behalf of Gyanalok Trust, NAPSI, OPSA, and Utkal University, and all the participants present in today's lecture, I welcome you, sir, to deliver the lecture. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for a big introduction. I don't know whether I deserve for that or not, but
you sir deserve more than that.
Thank you, Pradeep. So now, first of all, thanks to the Odisha Association of Professional Social Workers and Gyanalok and the Directorate of Distance Education running the social work course in Utkal University to initiating the celebration of 5th National Social Work Week. Congratulations for today on the Independence Day, 78th Independence Day and 5th National Social Work Week. You must be thinking what is the connection between Independence Day and Social Work Week. So I just remind that the first school of social work in independent India was born on 15th August. That was Mahatma Gandhi Kashi Vidyapeeth. There were 2 schools, Tata Institute 36 and Delhi School in 1946. But soon after the independence, the first social work school of independent India. So we just thought that there was a lot of saying that we don't believe in indigenization and Indianization. And we were of opinion that we should celebrate, the Independence Day as well as the social work education. Now people said, why to celebrate one day? So we kept it for the whole week because it depends on the people's convenience also. Normally in universities, new batch comes during this period. So we thought that 15th to 21st, and 21st we celebrate as a National Social Work Day. Like we celebrate Global Social Work Day or something. So one very important question arises, why celebration? What to celebrate? So this celebration of social work is about its own achievement, about its own profession, and the one purpose of this celebration is to propagate the social work profession in general public, in other discipline, and let people know that social workers are doing. I think many of us believe that social work is a very small fraternity. And when I ask the people, how many schools of social work in India? This course is known as through MSW. So not many, but believe me that now we have more than 526 schools. We called it social work educational institution. And how many students are studying social work? 1,20,000. There is a report. This is not my data. 526 is my data, which I collected in 2014. I am sure now it must be 600 plus. But All India Survey on Higher Education, there is a Government of India report. Every year this report is published. According to that report, we have around 66,000 students enrolled in MSW and 60,000 students enrolled into the BSW program every year across the country. That's mean we are having 1,20,000 students coming into this small discipline. So this is a region that we should celebrate and we should tell the people the past. Social work is basically about the human beings, human dignity, human relations, humanity, and also human right now. Some people call that social work is a human right profession. The core of social work is human relations. That is why we have all kind of application and approaches. Problem solving approach. We have a progressive approach. We have a growth oriented approach. We have a preventive approach. All kind. And in all field, wherever there are human beings collectively working, they have either individual problem or problem in the groups or problem at the workplace or problem generating through the environment in which they operate. So social work is a very simple definition that professional social work is rooted into the democratic values, in human values, and intended to do the well-being of the people. Earlier we used to call it the welfare of the people. Then we started saying development of the people. Then we started saying empowerment of the people. Now we are saying well-being. So, there are 4 or 5 stages through which professional social work has passed through. We begin with the scientific charity, moved into the social welfare system, welfare state. Then from there we moved into the development, social development. And from social development, we started talking about empowerment. Empowerment means right-based approach. So no more dole or no more welfare. Welfare is included, but emphasis is that it is not, we are not doing it as a obligation to the poor people or marginalized or vulnerable or needy or the person in trouble, but it is as a matter of their right. So you might have seen in the last few decades There is a lot of talks of child rights, women rights, rights for the disabled people, senior citizen rights. Every group has been recognized certain rights. So social work started working for the rights. Now we are seeing beyond the rights, well-being. वेलबींग की हिंदी बड़ी डिफिकल्ट है, लेकिन मैं उसको बोलता हूँ खुशहाली. So we work for the खुशहाली of the people. So a large goal, a bigger goal, and that is how the scope of social work profession is very large. Believe me, friends, this is the only profession in the university system which has drawn its strength from different social sciences. And that is why a student of social work is taught about a dozen subjects. He is taught about the sociology, he is taught about the basics of economics, he is taught about the developmental science, he is taught about the psychology, we teach the law, we teach the constitution, we teach the political system, we teach human relation, we teach criminology, we teach child rights, we teach women rights. So as many as you see, and if you look at from area wise, we work in schools, we work in higher education, we work with youth, we work with the people, those who are marginalized, vulnerable, those who have been deprived or exploited. And we work finally for our major goal is the social change. That is why we work in so many places. Sometimes when you work too much, when you try to make your student master of all, so sometimes you become jack of all and master of none. We have earlier 5 major specialization, and they have been also clubbed: family and child welfare, medical and psychiatric social work, criminology and correctional administration, personnel management and industrial relation. So we have later on changed these specialization. We called him then concentration, major concentration, and then students have been given choice that they can study as per their choice. So that is why social work is a large, have a lot of scope into the society, and you will find the people who are working in the government system, in the civil society organization, into the corporate organization, and their range is that somebody is working as a family social worker. In family court, we are working as a family counselor. In school, we are working as a school social worker. Some are working as a school counselor. In factories and corporate organization, we work as a welfare officer, personnel officer, industrial relation officer. And now with the advent of the CSR, many social work graduates work into the CSR field. So you will see that this profession has a wider scope, not many scope, different areas and different kind of work, right from problem solving to support, research, providing service delivery, to advocacy, to networking. So if you club all these, you will see that a social work person has a lot many things to choose. Some choose to become researcher, some choose to become activist, some is becoming Medha Patkar, and some are becoming researchers like Professor Hepsoor or Professor R.R. Singh. Some go into the educational field, teaching social work. Another point, when we talk of scope, another way of looking at higher education system has the three branches:
Now you are
teaching,
doing.
teaching, research, and extension. In most of the universities, you will see that these three components of higher education are being taught or are taken care by the social work department. Not many departments go in extension, but social work necessarily. Wherever you go, you will find that social work people are working in all three areas. So looking at the numbers, looking at the scope, areas, field of working, you will find that social work people are available working at most of the places. And another point I will tell you, look at the social sciences, all social sciences, with all due respect to all social sciences. Social work students are the first one to get the jobs in comparison to the history, political science, sociology, public administration, many other sciences. The social work students do get job very easily. The reason is that they work at the grassroots, they work at the base, they work with the people. And when they work with the people, they have developed and devised many methods. So social work operate at three levels: individual, group, or community. Accordingly, we have the three recognized method, and then we have borrowed. We don't sigh in saying this, that we have borrowed knowledge from different social sciences and made it application oriented. That is why social workers are directly providing services. Service delivery is one of the major area, one of the major things. Now, this process, if you look at, is also very progressive. As I told you, the field wise, starting from scientific charity to movement to the welfare, then development to the empowerment, empowerment to the well-being movement. We have also supported and given birth to many other disciplines. Few decades back, some of the specialization areas, they grew into the full-fledged subject, and only in last 4 decades. And social work has its own say into it. It has its own contribution. Earlier we were like even social entrepreneurship. So we have faced a lot of competition from other social sciences, because many places our students, what they are, wherever they are working, whatever they are doing, sometimes coincide with the knowledge of other disciplines, and therefore there is a tough competition into it. So social work is an interesting subject, and it is a subject which based on certain conviction, values. It respects the human values. And while you are working with the people, social worker have to change himself as per demand. And interestingly, that is why social worker grows, their personality grows. They feel a lot of change. So from empathy, communication skills, life skills, public speaking, personal relationship, dealing with the people, there is a lot of change into a person who comes into the social work field. So the scope of profession is wider and wider. And professions are normally, they have necessarily the social sanction. There cannot be a profession if it does not have a social sanction, or it is not being recognized by the society. Look at all the professions. Medicine has a very old profession. Its area is treating the people, providing relief to the people from their physical miseries or even the mental miseries. So the core of medicine profession is ensuring health, treating people. Look at nursing. It has a core value, service. Nursing, it has a core value as a care. Look at the law. It has a core value as justice. Same way, the social work has its core value, that is human relations. And I normally interpret it in the way that the scope of social work is too large because of its nature, what it has to do. Now, this conviction demands some commitment from the people. Every profession has some ethical commitment, some professional commitment. All profession works for the human being, and they require certain commitment. We have lot many aberration in all professions. We have doctors which are not less than butchers. You might have seen many films, many stories on different. So that's mean a profession will only survive when it has a scientific knowledge about its core value, which link with its core value, and it answers the two basic questions. Why this profession? The reason of its existence in the society. If you justify on that, you will see that your growth and your existence depends. Our reasoning is that human societies will require the social workers in all times because they directly work with the people in providing services, in preventing the miseries, in bringing the change, in promoting the positive values, in prohibiting the wrongs, social wrongs, whether in terms of a norms, whether it is terms of a, practices, rituals. And this will be in every society because the society goes on changes. From agricultural society to the industrial society, to industrial society, to the post-industrial society, and now what you might want to call it, plastic society or techno society, whatever it may be. But the social network, the social relationship is transforming day by day. And if social relationship is transforming, that's mean social work will be required to handle the consequential impact of that changes into the social relations. Now I come to the school, with respect to the school. And each one of us will recognize that today's school is not of their times. My times, the school had a very different culture, a different context, a different style of operation, a different relationship. My father never believed in me what I said, but he always believed what teacher said. Today, complete difference. When I was not doing homework, I was beaten, given punishment, doing uthak baithak, asked to stand up into the out of the classroom. But today, the law says that you can't penalize any children. I'm not saying that time was good and this time is not good. I'm not justifying. I'm simply trying to tell you that it is changing. And change demands. Now bullying, now social media, the mobile addiction, MMS. There are many malice, stress among school children, relationship, the early puberty, the more expectation of parents. I'm talking of the middle class society, and if you go in rural areas, because of many of these regions, more dropouts, the costlier education. Now, a school which have a triangle, the school, parents, and child. Now, a school system in itself have teachers, principals, peer students, entire group, the entire culture of school, and child, parents in a given society. Here I comes and would like to tell you about the national education policy, which we have got in 2020. The wonderful policy, 486 pages document, the draft. You must read it. It has two sections, school education and higher education. I will talk here of the school education. In the school education, there are many changes. Date of age of entry and number of classes and 10 plus 2 plus 3 is now being changed into all you know it. I am trying to bring you on a very unique point of the school education under the new education policy is the establishment of a school complex. What is this school complex? The school complex is a aggregation or is a group of schools brought within a given geographical area and provided the common services for the betterment of children, school and teachers. So in a vicinity of 5 kilometer or 10 kilometer, 5 or 6 schools will be brought together. They will make a school complex. This word is little bit complex, school complex. हिंदी में इसे बोलते हैं विद्यालय संकुल, एग्रीगेशन. वो जरा ज्यादा अच्छा शब्द है. कॉम्प्लेक्स से ऐसे ही लगता है स्कूल कॉम्प्लेक्स से, लेकिन अब आप जानते हो आजकल सब जगह कॉम्प्लेक्स ही बन रहे हैं, चाहे वो पिक्चर हॉल के मल्टीप्लेक्स हों, चाहे वो मॉल के कॉम्प्लेक्स हों, सब जगह मामला कॉम्प्लेक्स हो रहा है. लेकिन ये स्कूल कॉम्प्लेक्स ये कहता है कि इसमें बहुत सारी सर्विसेज एक जगह प्रोवाइड की जाएंगी और ये स्कूल कॉम्प्लेक्स विल बी मैनेज्ड बाय ए trained social worker. And what this trained social worker will do, it will take care of many requirements, identifying and assessing needs of the student. It will make the direct services in terms of, it will recognize the dropouts, will make home visit to these dropouts, will talk to the parents, will convince the parents, it will run the adult education classes, it will go into the community for the community education, it will do the advocacy for students, their educational and emotional and material needs to be fulfilled. It is not SUP, socially useful productive work, SUPW. It is not that. It is much beyond that. It is directly providing to the services and trying to find out why a children is not happy in his school and how he can be make more adjusting or more useful, how school can be made useful, more useful for him. So a very different concept. Of course, this concept is old. 1964 Kothari Commission has given it, but nobody has bothered. At least this government, this new national education policy has made that every student should be made the integral part so that they may get the excellence. So this school complex may have yoga, computer science, games facility, with computer, with all kind of things. It will be good. And this will be managed by a trained social worker who will keep contact with the teachers of all kind of all 5 schools or 6 schools or whosoever in the part of that complex. Will develop a plan how to address the issues, and even issues like bullying and withdrawal and behavioral problem, wherever it required the counseling services. So all this is being planned in the school education. And here is a much more scope of social work. It says trained. It will be managed by a trained social worker. Of course, it is not saying professional social worker, because education is a subject matter of the states. So now states will derive. This particular National Social Work Week trying to emphasize on school social work and its opportunities. The reason is this, that let us understand that our social work student must know about the school. They must know about the behavioral needs of a child. They must know the relationship between a child and principal, child and a teacher, child between child, classroom, within classroom, peer group, having the opposite sex also in co-education system. So how to communicate, how they learn the processes, all this has to be the responsibility of a school complex. When you will read this 486-page document draft, there is a complete chapter on it. And it has calculated even the money, that how much money will be required. So what I'm saying that it is a matter of states. In your state, Gyanalok, University, Utkal University, Odisha Professional Social Workers Association must try to impress upon to the education minister to appoint social workers to establish the school complex. And the social work educational institution or department of social work or school of social work, they must change their syllabi to bring the school social work into it. If you will not teach your student, how you expect they will do a job? So it is putting responsibility. I will give you one information, you will be surprised. Uttar Pradesh is the first state probably in India wherein all DITES, DITE is a district institute of education and training, something like that. Please forgive my ignorance. So DITE, every district have a DITE and it has a staff. There is a one position of a lecturer, assistant professor, social work. UP have appointed 75 social work students as assistant professor. They teach they train the school teachers, principals, headmasters. So see how powerful you are. What you can translate through these teachers and principal in the school system. You can also try. I don't know whether in each district you have a DITE, and in DITE you have a position of assistant professor in social work. You can take an example and you can talk to your education minister. So this is much more beyond the scope. You know, The biggest problem with the social work is that we are not able to put the jigsaw puzzles in a chronological manner. That is why our work is not visible. School social work is not a new concept. It is a very old concept, even in America. In India, in 1960 onward, this concept has came. I have read school social work during my days in 70s. But slowly, many new areas came: social entrepreneurship, HIV/AIDS, occupational social work, corporate social responsibility. So we have omitted it. But this is one actual area where you have a lot of potentials for the employment. If you are able to get this policy translated into action, I'm not sure how many schools in Odisha, must be in thousands. If they make a complex of 5 schools, let's presume 20,000, and everything is being done with the 5 schools. So you're creating 4,000 jobs. And I believe this will be in one district only. So there is a lot of scope. And as a work, you can write to the SCERT, State Council of Educational Research, and SCERT of every state. If you know anyone in SCERT, you can write. You can write a letter to Director SCERT, kindly provide us the information about diet. Otherwise, I know the UP gentleman who's handling the diet. Who's in SCERT, and he's handling the state, entire state. He's in a social work person. I will ask him if he. Otherwise, you will search it in the Google also. You will get it. You simply write assistant professor social work in diet in Uttar Pradesh. You will get. I'm just giving you the area where we can intervene and how we can bring the change, and see how big change Odisha professional social worker can bring. I know you are very active people. You are doing wonderful job. I have opportunity to work with you during the national presidential campaign. I really enjoy working with you. So what I was saying, that school social worker has many tasks. He has to increase the academic access. He has to maximize the educational opportunities for the children, improve interpersonal relationship, children, teacher, children, principal, children, between children, coping with the crisis situation. Many of us, those who are teachers, they became teachers because we have a role model as a teacher. I was reading one story on the internet that a teacher came to a person came to meet his teacher, and he said, "Sir, have you recognized me?" He said, "No, I am not able to." "Sir, 30 years back I was your student, and I became teacher today because of you. You were my role model." He said, "I never knew it." Then he said, "Sir, when I was a child, I have stolen a watch, wristwatch. Then you asked every student to close the eyes, and you started searching each one of each student. You found watch in my pocket, but you never told anyone that I have stolen that watch. Actually, sir, that has touched my heart, and I decided I will never steal anything, and I will become a teacher like you." Teacher responded, "While I have asked you all to close your eyes, I was also closing my eyes while I was searching, so I don't know it was you. You know, those were those kind of values which a student carries. But now I meet teachers in higher education and they have a complaint against their student. Fortunately, throughout my 45 years career as a teacher, I never had. I never complained my student. I don't know, my students do not have any complaint against me. By and large, I have never heard. But I'm saying that time is changing very fast. So you need a school social worker, and school social worker is doing many things like inculcating hobbies among the children, promoting their hobbies, providing opportunities to explore their personalities, developing self-discipline, inculcating life skills, very important area, all the 10 life skills, resolving conflict without violence, number of things. And finally, he has to reduce the school dropout. Now we have a lot of emphasis on Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So if you understand the significance of school social work, I believe you will be able to appreciate that as a profession, our scope is too large, even in the field of school education. Each one of us who are parent always realize that there must be someone into the school who can take care of complex problem of my child. Gaming, mobile addiction, newer areas. You are also party to it. I have made a rule in my house. Nobody will use mobile while on dining table. It was very difficult to impose the same rule on myself before imposing it on children. I'm just giving you a small example. So it is persuasion, counseling, advice, suggestion, cajoling, many more things. Many techniques you require to handle with the children. Most delicate. And now you must have heard that how much violence is generating among the children. So who has the time? Classroom teacher, principal, parents. You don't have a time for your child. You have shifted your responsibility by sending the child to school. You need a specialized agency, a specialized person. That is why I am advocating that school social work has a bigger platform. Depression, substance abuse. I have never heard in my student days the word mood. Now you ask any child, he says mood नहीं है, पढ़ने का mood नहीं है आज. Even in higher education, when I used to teach at universities, sometimes students used to come and say, "Sir, आज mood नहीं है class का." So I don't understand what this mood is, how fluctuating it is, and how changing it is. I'm advocating for the school social work practice. And the first step is, if you are coming from a department of social work or anywhere, please start placing your student in a school setting. They will learn many things. And second step is, if you can bring a specialization or component or this area of school social work into the syllabus, it will be great. Many of you can think of 3-month certificate course also in school social work. Probably that will help your student to get a job. So you have to create the demand for your product. That is what today's market says. You see, CSR came And initially, we are considering that CSR is a social welfare responsibility towards the community in and around the company. From there, we started. But where CSR has reached, all the technocrat, all the management people, and you are out. Not exactly out, but many others have come up. MBA people have started a course in CSR, and they send their student to your agency. So please understand the changing environment within the school and within the families. Now, the biggest thing is a school social worker can do is to teach how to live in a group. That's the basic thing, living in a group. Because child is becoming more individualistic. Me, my, mera. Finish. That is why they don't have many friends. That is why they have depression. They have suicidal tendencies. They have violent tendencies. I'm not generalizing, but I'm just giving you one direction that how it goes on. So, friend, I was trying to put emphasis on this, that school social work is one area where we have to think how we can do, how we can put the social work student into the school setting. And even in field work, we can familiarize our student with the school system. However, everybody thinks that I know school because we have come through a school. But my school and this school has changed, completely changed. The structure, the course, the environment, the relationship between the student and teacher, all have changed. Friend, here I put the stop. I believe that uh, I have come up to some of my points which I wish to convey you. And in this 5th National Social Work Week, the emphasis which we have put on the school social work, I'm sure you must be clear about this. And if I'm able to send my content and my conviction and my communicate to you, I think I am rewarded. But still, as a matter of my methodology, I I have spoken, but I have not heard you. If you have any problem, if you have any question, any clarification, you are most welcome. You can write in the chat box, or I believe that Pradeep will allow you to ask the question, and I will try to respond to the best of my knowledge. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It is a great pleasure to listen from you, always for us. Now I request the participants, sir, for your information, I am saying, actually most of our OPSA core members and people from Utkala University are also here in this meeting. The Secretary of Odisha Professional Social Worker Association, Dr. Jharana Swai, former President Mrs. Sneha Misra, Professor Asutosh Pradhan, Professor Vipin Jojo, Professor Supriya Patnaik, all are here in this platform. Now I request all the participants, anything they want to know, ask, or any discussion they want to proceed, they can have.
I have a question. Somebody has asked, kindly guide, but in our state of India, what should we do? I think very simple. If you are a professional social worker uh, teaching in the university or college, please make a placement of your students into the school system. And if you are a researcher, try to start researching in the school area, the issues and the problems of children, principal, system. Uh, you have a education minister from your state, so you can impress upon that at least in your state they can have assistant professor position if it can be in other state, why it cannot be reserved for social work? So you can ask the SCRT UP to have the syllabus. So I think immediately we can do this. If you are running an agency and all, you can start publishing some small things. Like I'm, in this National Social Work Week, while I have a discussion with lot many friends, I'm thinking to come out with some small one-page educational poster series, like on gaming, on mobile etiquettes, on online program attending etiquettes on the online attendance. These are small things which we do not have in our course and syllabi. So we can do that also. I mean, there can be many ways. Lot many things can be done. And if you need uh, any kind of help from my side, you can always write. I'm typing my email. You can always approach to me, or otherwise through Pradeep, you can always come to me. I just found that there is a Piyush Porwal. Probably, if I'm not wrong, Piyush was my student, and he's teaching in Bhopal School of Social Work. Wonderful, Piyush. Um, I'm not able to see your face because most of the people have not opened their. Uh,
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Sir, I am Piyush from Indore School of Social Work. I have done MSW from Indore School of Social Work.
Okay. I have a student, Piyush Porwal, from Delhi School of Social Work. So I said probably. That is why I moved. Anyway, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
And yes,
Right.
it's always a pleasure, sir, privilege to know and sharing, knowing all those things. Sir, I want to say something on the this school social workers intervention in school. In Madhya Pradesh, sir, so many NGOs are already working uh, with the schools like Magic Bus Foundation and Muskan Dreams, Educate Girls. So I also was working as a block officer for some time in Educate Girls NGO. So social workers are always working in schools, but the thing is that we have never added this content of school social work in our syllabus, or we have not emphasized on it.
Yeah. Uh, uh, in the morning session and today's inauguration, I just promised to participant that within 2-3 days, we will put a lot of literature on school social work on our NAFSB website. So what I will suggest you, Piyush, if you have already worked in this area, if you can collect some case studies, publish it, that how social workers have made a little impact or a big impact or whatever impact. I think that will be quite eye-opening for the others also. So I will try to do some of the literature. You can visit within 2-3 days, and you can also organize different activities. Madhya Pradesh is little behind. I think you can do some.
We are organizing, sir. Yes, we
Wonderful.
have planned, sir, for 2021st. Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
And we are, yes, sir.
I'm
And
so
BSS,
happy,
correct.
and I feel obliged when somebody says I'm organizing some activity under National Social Work Week. I feel so happy that people are really listening the need of hour. This is the call of your hour. That social work people must come up and they must start doing this. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have a
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. So this is
evening.
Balram Samal. I'm happy to share that as you have shared the plans, like what we want to share in the schools, like the gaming module and the other methods. I'm working in that field since last 1.5 years. In our Odisha, there is a curriculum called Kausali, where we are teaching the students in school level that the basic level coding, where they are using a platform Scratch, and they are using their stories by coding. And in the gaming module, they are also preparing such games stories, videos, animations. We are also introducing the storytelling method where the community members are also coming to share their experiences. We were using to hear from our grandfathers, grandmothers. We are also trying to introduce such methods to introduce them with the old people, those who are present in the community, the ex armies, the ex soldiers. We are also trying to do such things, sir.
I will be very happy if you write this, and we will be very happy to put this all material onto the Nafsvi website for the use of other people. Good work. Thank you, Balram. I'm happy that you are at least
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. I'm Jharna from Upsa. Sir, namaste.
Yes, Jharna. Namaskar, Jharna ji. Kaisi hain?
Very happy, sir. You have done a very good job, very elaborated, and we have first time learned so much from School of Educations, School of Social Educations. Sir, we have already celebrated in coordination with the BJP College in a particular school at Chunkoli, and
Wonderful.
today also Gyanalok giving a platform to celebrate this OPSA and collaboration with INAPSI. Thank you very much, sir, for your presentations. We'll
Thank you.
definitely work for Odisha, and because you are inspired a lot. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, good evening.
Just
Yes.
yes.
Sir, good evening. I'm Sarita. I'm actually not directly connected with schools, but I have 8 years of experience in working with skill development. And I was working with the ITI system where 8th class students also can register for the ITI. So, and it is quite similar, and I belong to the backward district of Odisha, that is KBK, Koraput, Balangir, and Kalahandi. So, I have worked in this location since 7 years. I have some experience in how we can reduce the dropout and what plans we had made. Can I share in the website you asked for?
Please do send. Please do send. If you will send today night, within 2-3 days, we will upload it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm happy to see my Astos Pradhan here. Wonderful. Hello, Astos. How are you? All well. Good job.
नमस्कार सर नमस्कार नमस्कार
Namaskar. Anyone else?
Yes, I was good evening, sir. My name is Supriya Patnaik. I came in a little late, so I think I missed a bit, but I'd just like to ask you, because you are advocating so much for school social work, that are you looking at the cross sections, like for example mental health? It's a big issue in school social work. So
Yeah.
that is one of the things I'd like to tell you. But the other thing is also, I don't know, because I've been hearing about this gaming and all this, but we know that social media itself is having a very disastrous impact on school children. So
Yeah.
I don't know if in encouraging them to use mobile phones, if we are also encouraging them to explore other things in through mobiles. So I don't know. Somehow I feel that there is today there is so much lesser physical activity than there used to be for children. So I just thought that I would air those ideas for you to comment on.
Yes. You are right. I mean, we talked about the depression, stress, relationship issues, silence. Many things are happening to the children, which we have never faced. And maybe that because of physical activities are minimizing, maybe that one reason. But also the another reason is that the group size is also minimizing. You know, when I was a student, I have a more than 100, 200 friend in his school. But you know, my son was studying, he was hardly having 5, 6 students, peer group. So things are changing very fast. That is what I'm saying. There is a need to understand this change and to act accordingly. Now, I will not say that don't give the mobile phone to the children, but we have to ensure at what age, for what time, with what kind of mobile,
Exactly.
and how we can convince them that this mobile is for contact rather not to see the many contents. You know? So this is a society where we are sitting. It is a society which is a technology. I tell you one very important thing. I always say that in another 25 years, our society will be governed by the three things.
Mm.
One thing is a demography.
Mm.
The changing demography of our society will be responsible for many ills. And you might have seen even in this election, in earlier election, how we were always talking of the changing demography, who comes from where it is going, and within the city, that entire change. Second thing is the technology. Technology is changing so fast that by the time I will finish my lecture, many things have changed into the society. And we can't skip away from the technology. So I will not say that don't give. You know, when television came, some of my students, some of my friends do not have the television in their house, and their parents are not able to afford it. They used to go into the neighborhood to watch the television. And when parents said, why you are going to their house, they said, we don't have television in our house. You may recall the time of Ramayana, when Ramayana used to come on television. People used to go in others' house and there were 40 people, 60 people watching the television. So time is changing very fast. Now, if I ask anyone that don't make your email account, you require email account everywhere. You know, you require mobile number everywhere. So we have to make people understand the mobile etiquettes. That why mobile? This mobile is being used by only 5% by us, and that technology is creating so much problem. What we do in mobile? Calling, WhatsApp, SMS is now out of way. WhatsApp, then Instagram, then Facebook. These are the things we are doing. We do not know that this tells us the time of the many countries. We do not know many other features which are in this mobile. So we have to appreciate the student and we have to spend time with them. That is first thing. And I think it is very easier to say than done. But the more and more time required for technology. Third very important thing is that our society will be facing disasters. So we have to prepare everyone for the disaster. Every time disasters are coming up. You know, somewhere floods, somewhere fire, somewhere something. And you must have seen on every day on television. So this is how the another 30 years will be, and we have to be ready for that society. I think I have communicated what I wish. Thank you, Pradeep, for this interaction.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Uh, Thank you so much for accepting our request and delivering such a important topic. I also like to thank all the core members of OPSA and Department of Social Work, Utkal University, and the participant present in today's lecture, Professor Ashutosh Pradhan, Supriya Madam, Professor Vipin Jojo, Dr. Dharana Swai, and Sneha Misra, and other participants who actively present and share their thought. And tomorrow we have another session which will be delivered by Professor Bharati Dogra, that is on NEP 2020 and opportunity and challenges before school education system. So I request all the participants, please circulate the message among others and be present in the tomorrow sessions at 7 p.m.
Send the link.
Thank you so much. Yes,
Okay.
yes, same thing, same link, sir, same link.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
Namaskar.